This is one of sport's great proving grounds, a gateway to glory. Brilliant! 29 tournaments spanning 19 countries. Along the way, a chance to expand horizons and sample life on tour.
How beautiful is that? Magic, eh?
Finish the season in the top 20 on the road to Mallorca rankings and secure a golden ticket to the DP World Tour. This is the Challenge Tour. Three years ago, Tom McKibbin was a promising amateur. In 2022, he finished 10th on the road to Mallorca rankings, securing his card for the DP World Tour season the following year. And then, on his 26th start, he brought it home at the Porsche European Open. Now he was returning to the Challenge Tour as host of this week's event, the Black Desert Northern Ireland Open, presented by Tom McKibbin. Among those more than keen to join Tom back on the DP World Tour is Sam Hutsby, and currently sat at 14th in the Road to Mallorca standings. He was well placed to do just that. Confidence was running high too, after he qualified for the Open Championship at Troon the week before.
I think this is what all the kids were having for the week to try and get the players to sign it. So pretty, yeah, that'll definitely be going on the wall. I've tried to qualify for it for, I think, since I was 15, so about 20 years it's taken me to finally have a go at it. And because I've never experienced it, I didn't know kind of what I was missing. So to finally get through and have a chance of playing in it was all the hard work and sacrifice I put into the game. It was just an absolute dream come true, really. It's an old saying that it doesn't take long to warm up a Rolls Royce, but it's definitely not the case in my scenario. I need at least 40, 50 balls to get me going. Next minute, I'm standing on the 7th green with a 7-foot putt to lead the Open, because I had a look over at the leaderboard, saw Justin Thomas was on -3, and I thought if I knock this in, I'm tied for the Open. And I kind of had to pinch myself and thought, whoever would have thought I'd end up in this position. I don't know, it was around 1:30 on Thursday afternoon, with all the top players already out there, and it's just an absolute dream come true.
Good. All right.
See ya.
How was last week?
Oh, it was tough. It was
horrible.
I feel I've aged like 20 years. It's character building, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I was in Austria and I was sat at lunch, and somebody in my group chat, like, not in golf, was like, Sam Hutsby's on fire. And I'm like, I got my phone out and I'm like checking it out. It was sick. Cool to see, for sure.
Quite the story, although it's probably topped by the journey undertaken by Sam's caddy, Will Green.
At my club, he's kind of like a local hero, really. And when I was younger, my mum and dad took me to Wentworth to go watch the BMW PGA, and we followed Sam. And I was just looking on as a fan, really. Never had a conversation with him or anything like that. Just like looking up to him, and he ended up chucking me a ball, I think, on the 4th green or something like that, and I was following him around. And fast forward 12 years, I'm caddying for him in the Open Championship. It's kind of really weird, surreal scenario, really.
We need to take, it's either between this one and that one, but I think we take that one out, keep this one in.
Someone asked me, how long have you been caddying for, when I was at the Open, and I was like, this is my 2nd week, mate.
And on the tee from Liverpool, Sam Hutsby.
"15 years ago, Hutsby hit the headlines at Formby when he made it to the final of the 2009 British Amateur Championship, only to lose out to a 16-year-old from Italy, one Matteo Manassero.
He just came out of the blocks at 7:30 in the morning and just didn't miss a putt for the first few holes. I just wanted to throw his putter in the bush and then think that's probably the only chance I've got of beating this kid. But he was so impressive, and we still remain good friends as of today. But if I did win, I would have had to have stayed amateur to play in the majors, and Matteo probably would have gone back to playing amateur golf for Italy and competing in the big tournaments. And but my plan was to play the Walker Cup, which I was on track for, and then turn professional and give qualifying school a go. So sure enough, I stuck to that plan after I lost and managed to get the second card through qualifying school at the end of 2009. So looking back, it was probably the best thing that could have happened to me.
Hutsby would enjoy a solid debut season on tour in 2010, though it would ultimately end in heartache.
The first year I had on tour, I ended up missing my card by 1 place, which was absolutely gutting, really. I didn't get into the last few events of the season because of my category and my ranking. So I just had to sit at home watching the golf every week, and just seeing guys slowly overtake me was heartbreaking, really. And I never thought, I always felt for players that would miss their card by a place. I think it happened to Lee Slattery one year where he missed it by like €200, and I just thought I couldn't imagine how hard that would be to take, and sure enough, it happened to me.
Over the past decade or so, Sam has won and lost his playing rights on the DP World Tour several times, and after the 2018 season had no playing status on either tour. He almost gave up on the game altogether, retraining to become a PGA teaching professional before, in 2022, after a 4-year hiatus, he returned to tournament golf.
Yeah, well done.
I did manage to get a couple of Challenge Tour starts through the Clutch Tour, and nearly won my first one. I finished 4th, and that's when I knew, okay, I can still be out here, I can compete on the Challenge Tour, and gave me the confidence and self-belief again. So I kind of made a decision to say, okay, at the end of the year, I'm going to go into qualifying school and I'm going to have another go at it. And wow, that was some week. I mean, 6 rounds of golf, which was amazing. I had a putt on the last from about 15th foot. I had a look at the leaderboard and I knew I had to hold it to get a card. And when I saw it go in the middle of the hole, it was just incredible. It's just so nice to know that the hard work I'm putting in is paying off. It's not too far away. And like you said, I put myself in a really good position. I've been relatively consistent. My scoring average is, I kind of set a personal goal this year to try and score below 70.5. So I'm kind of on target for that. So that's a nice little achievement that I'm working towards. And I know how difficult this tour is. I know how good the players are out here, and I've just got to really keep my head down, keep working hard, and try and push on it.
Day 1 in Galgorm, and the latest chapter of Sam's story was about to begin as he continued in his quest for a return to the DP World Tour. Thursday afternoon would see him paired with Northern Ireland's Dermot McElroy and the tour's most recent winner, 18-year-old Jack Kennedy.
On the tee from England, Sam Hutsby.
However, it wasn't to be the best of starts for Hutsby. After opening with 3 straight pars, he dropped a shot at the 4th. But he soon turned things round with 2 quick-fire birdies at the 6th and the 8th to move under par. Out in 33 and into the back 9. After a birdie at the 13th, he was looking at back-to-back gains at the testing par 3 14th. Rolling in the putt, he moved to 3 under, an impressive recovery from being 1 over through the first 5 holes. After something of a bonus par save on 15 to keep a clean back 9 on his card, the heavens opened. There would be a frustrating weather delay for 2 hours. Luckily, play could continue late into the evening, and Hutsby was able to complete his opening round. The delay didn't appear to disrupt his flow. He picked up another welcome birdie on 17 and finished with a satisfying opening round of 66, tied 5th and 3 shots off the early leader, Joachim Lagergren. Friday morning in Northern Ireland, and after impressing on Thursday, Hutsby was looking for a repeat performance to keep himself firmly in the running. But he suffered early setbacks which saw him plummet in the wrong direction. Starting on the par 5 10th, an immediate double bogey, and a further drop shot on the 11th, both a shock to the system. It would be tough to recover from that. 3 consecutive pars from the 12th steadied the ship, and then back-to-back birdies on 15 and 16 saw him back to 1 over for the day and back on track. Elsewhere, Irishman Conor Purcell was making it look almost easy in front of home fans.
Nice fun.
Following up on his opening day 66, Purcell would go one better with a bogey-free round of 65, 9 under for the tournament as he pursued his maiden tour title. As for Hutsby, he couldn't push on from that mini recovery. 2 more drop shots en route home, and a tidy up and down at the last saw him close out the day with a 73, 1 under for the tournament, and tied for 23rd.
Yeah, 2 in different days. Physically I felt really poor yesterday. I don't know if I had a fever or a head cold, but was getting hot and cold sweats and just really ground out really. I just tried to kind of get the round back. I said to Will, if we can try and get it level or under par for the day, that would be a good target all of a sudden. And it's just really tricky out there. I thought the wind was playing tricks on us, changing direction all the time, and yeah, happy to make the weekend, and hopefully we can find something and try and push on.
Stay with us as we sit down with tournament host Tom McKibbin.
It's pretty cool to be here at an event that I've played in since I've been 14.
And we'll find out who took home the silverware on the Emerald Isle. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the Challenge Tour and to Northern Ireland's spectacular Galgorm in County Antrim. Heading into the weekend, it was Irishman Conor Purcell with a 3-shot advantage over Jeppe Christian Andersen, Will Bestling, and the winner of this event 2 years ago, Joachim Lagergren. There were plenty of others breathing down the necks of the leading contenders, so all was set fair for a dramatic moving day. Following the action, Josh Atman.
Just one top 10 all year for Joachim Lagergren, but he was tied second after 2 days at Galgorm, and on the very first hole on Saturday, a birdie for the Swede to get into 7 under par early on. That was not the end of the birdies for Lagergren on Saturday. Robin C.O. Segrist, this at 2, he'd already birdied the first. Stunning approach, almost holding out for eagle from C.O. Segrist. Still looking for his first Challenge Tour win, the Frenchman. Lagergren at 4. This was to tie Conor Purcell at the top of the leaderboard. No problems at all. 3 birdies in his first 4 holes. A hot start for Lagergren. Jack Senior made it to the par 3 14th, looking to go one better than his runner-up in Delhi earlier in the season. One of the best of the day there at 14. A 66 on Saturday for Jack. Lagergren was having a magical day at Galgorm on Saturday. Out in 30, he eagled 10. That was for birdie at 11. A 3-shot lead for Lagergren. He was 7 under par for his 11 holes in round 3. Leader after 2 days was now the one doing the chasing, Conor Purcell. This was off the green at 12. Gets one back there. The Irishman. Start of a good fight back on the back 9 from Purcell. Let's catch up with our featured player this week, Sam Hutsby. A day to forget really on Saturday for Sam. It was a 76 in round 3 for Sam. Still smiling though. Pierre Pino inside the top 30 on the road to Mallorca. A decent season for the 24-year-old and a more than decent putt there at 14. That birdie helped him to a Saturday 67. The birdies continued on Saturday for Lagergren. And this one at 14 in the most unlikely of circumstances, 50 feet away on the par 3, no problems at all. He added another at 15 to sign for a sensational 61 on Saturday and some light at the top of the leaderboard. Conor Purcell was in trouble at 17. This was his 4th at the par 4. An amazing par save from Conor Purcell. He'd go on to birdie 18 and trail Lagergren by 1 with 18 to play.
Yes, a look at the leaderboard heading into the final round in Northern Ireland confirms overnight leader Conor Purcell now found himself that one shot adrift of Joachim Lagergren after that sensational 61. Those two well clear of the rest to set up an intriguing showdown on Sunday.
Mixed feelings. Played some golf today, played really good. I really had a good chance for a 59 there. Unfortunately missed a 5-footer on 17 and then a 7-footer on 18, but yeah, I mean, I played really well, so I can't complain, but you don't get a lot of chances to shoot 59.
This week's host, Tom McKibbin, grew up playing golf just 30 miles away from Galgorm at Hollywood Golf Club, the very same home club as Rory McIlroy, and he welcomed the chance to spend some time on familiar soil.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to be here at an event that I've played in since I've been 14, and to be back here and to play today, it's pretty cool. It's a place that I love coming to play casually and play the tournament as well. The standard's just getting better and better, and I think a lot of these guys are they turn pro and they're ready to play well. And there's a lot of guys that have been around for a while as well, so I think sort of add them all up and everyone's pretty good.
And we have a new star from Hollywood in Northern Ireland, Tom McKibbin. Take a bow, young man.
Obviously last year was very, very good. Obviously to get a win in my first year out in tour was pretty special, and I think to do it around the golf course is sort of known as being very hard and challenging was pretty cool. And then obviously, as you said, to pull it off with that shot in the last was pretty special. I think I've probably watched it a couple hundred times. But yeah, it's been very good sort of to get that win early and sort of feel comfortable very, very early has helped me a lot.
No one has got it closer at 18 today than Tom McKibbin.
This year's been very good. I've played very, very good golf, very consistent golf, and to play in the last 2 majors as well, especially last week at the Open was cool, and to get to play practice rounds with people I've watched on TV for the last sort of 10 or so years and get to know Rory quite well and play with him, it's pretty cool, especially going into those big tournaments to see how those guys sort of prepare for those events and sort of see how they handle those tougher courses.
You basically are living the dream, aren't you?
Yeah, I love life.
An incredible rise up the ranks and an inspiration for all the players competing at his event in Northern Ireland. Back to business then, and to the final round of the Black Desert Northern Ireland Open presented by Tom McKibbin, where it was shaping up to be a 2-horse race between Ireland's Conor Purcell and Joachim Lagergren from Sweden. So who would get the job done as they set out with their eyes on the prize? Describing the key moments, it's back to Josh.
It was an eventful start to the final day. Conor Purcell with a bogey on 1, this on 2. It's drivable the second at Galgorm. Found that front right bunker. What a touch from Purcell. Level par for the day. 1 back he was at the start of the day to Lagergren. Jack Senior, he started the day 7 back, but he picked up a shot at 3. This was at 4. It meant he was firmly in contention for Challenge Tour win number 3. Just 4 back at this point, Jack. A topsy-turvy start for Purcell on the final day. The birdie at 2 was followed by a bogey at 3. He got things back to level par for the day with this birdie at 4. Tied for the lead with Lagergren at this point. Just listen to those crowds. Bit of a poor weekend for our featured player this week, Sam Hutsby. That was just his second birdie of the day at 18. 10 over, he'd finished for the tournament. Theo Siegrist was 8 under par playing the 10th, the par 5, not holding back, drawing that one in left to right. Stunning shot. That was set up an eagle for the Frenchman at 10. Purcell was out in 37, but this was a huge moment on the final day. Just short of the par 5 in 2. That was for eagle. With the crowd behind him, he took the lead for the first time. Lagergren would have an eagle chance himself from just off the green. He'd have to make do with birdie, and they were tied at the top with 8 to play. Lagergren couldn't find anything coming home, and this birdie at 15 meant Purcell took the lead outright. So much support for Purcell on the final day. On the final hole, Conor Purcell was in close, so Lagergren had to hold this to have any chance of forcing a playoff at Galgorm. It was a tricky shot, it was superbly played, but it wasn't enough for the Swede. With hundreds around the final green, Conor Purcell had a tap-in for par, and he was a winner on the Challenge Tour for the very first time. Black Desert Northern Ireland Open belongs to Conor Purcell.
Fair to say there'll be few more well-received wins this season. Confirmation of the final positions then in a dramatic finale at Galgorm. Jack Senior in the bronze medal position after his 67. Lagergren just missing out. Instead, topping the podium, an almost overwhelmed Irishman, Conor Purcell.
Very over the moon, kind of lost for words. I've waited a long time for this, and for it to happen at home. All my family and friends out here today, it's just amazing.
Let's look at how all of that has affected the Road to Mallorca rankings. And the biggest mover, not surprisingly, was Purcell, up 20 places to 4th. Robin Williams, the other player trending in the right direction, up 1 to 7th after his top 10 finish. Further down, Sam Hutsby slips to 16th, while Jack Senior climbs back into the top 20 after his 3rd place finish, with Wilco Nienaber now in that all-important 20th spot. And so our week in Northern Ireland comes to a close with smiles and celebrations for Conor Purcell. We head south for our 2nd Irish week next time, to County Kildare and the historic K Club for the Irish Challenge. With the 2024 season in full swing and hotting up nicely, join us then as the hunt for promotion to the DP World Tour continues.